Hello everyone, it is I, Mark Major, and we are here at the Action Figure-atorium. At least that is what I am calling it. It is my little studio within a studio where I keep all my action figures, and we do all sorts of cool little videos and, photography, etc., that kind of stuff here. But I also like to do videos where I cover the toy industry. I also like to do videos where I show you some of my kit bashings and customizing. And of course, because I'm a real big toy collector, I also uncollect as well. You have to sell things off from time to time for money or room. And so I like to go about once a month with a show I call Catch and Release, in which I go through 10 items from my collection that I am giving back to the toy collecting community. I've had these things and now maybe you can have these things. It's a lot of fun and you get to see some trash that, one of your fellow collectors owns. So for this episode, everybody, let's come together, strap on the leather, and let's hold on tight. All right, so if you missed the previous video in which I reacted to the Bobby Valla reselling video, in which Bobby Valla talks about buying toys from resellers at conventions, something that I myself don't do, either buying or selling. I only kind of sell some stuff off on eBay. I still had some opinions on his opinions, and it was fun to kind of sort of, throw out some ideas around there. So now, if you've seen that video and you want to check and see me as a quote-unquote reseller, really I'm just kind of shoveling out some trash that I have. But if you want to see me as a reseller, well, this is the show for you, in which I'm going to go through some items. I'm going to show you what I've got and what I'm pricing at, and then after that, you be the judge. Okay, so before we begin, here are some of the house rules. First of all, if you're trying to find my eBay account, it is Coolbots with a Z. Let's get it up in a lower third. Look at the production value of the show, people. This is just exciting, is it not? Coolbots with a Z, that's number one. Number two, I do what are called Dutch auctions. I started at about what always lower than what someone else is selling it for, but I started at about, kind of what would be a good price. And if no one buys it, after some time, I drop the price and eventually I get rid of it and it's yours. And finally, the last thing regarding these auctions is that if you watch the show, and you would know right now if you are a show watcher, and you end up buying something from me, right? When you make the purchase and you can add some notes to the seller, which would be me, let me know that you watched the show, that you watched the YouTube show, and I'll make sure that you get a very special tchotchke. And what is a tchotchke? Well, it could be, like a keychain or a coin or some little doodad or something, but sometimes it ends up being a whole extra action figure. So let's go check out what we got here. We're going to switch over. So, first item, item one. Does anybody remember G.I. Joe? Do you remember G.I. Joe from 2005? Well, if not, this is going to be the kind of thing that you missed out on. This is a vehicle they put out called the Desert Coyote. A dude sits in it, a machine gun goes down. Also, there's a guy can stand in the back. There's pegs, and what happens is that little machine gun there goes on to the little post in the back, and there is also an action figure that this originally came with, Recondo version 5, and I only have the top half. So this is an incomplete toy in parts, and it is priced accordingly. Whole thing, including the shipping, $20, people. You can get your G.I. Joe 2005 on just like that. It's really exciting to get something like this. Let's move on to the second item. Does anybody remember the Transformers? Okay, this is not a Hasbro Transformer. This is what's known as a knockoff, a KO as they like to call them. People don't use the word bootleg, they use knockoff, and I think that that's a distinction, okay? So this guy is part of the Hero Dinba line, and he's called Blasting King, and basically he turns into a construction vehicle, And it's kind of that, it's not a grader, it's a kind of a shovel on four wheels. Now this guy unfortunately only has 2 of his 4 wheels, but he looks great in transformer mode. If you put him in vehicle mode, he's gonna have to do a wheelie or something. But it is priced right, $9 free shipping, and of course you mentioned that you watched the show. That can only mean a very, very special tchotchke, and I do have very special tchotchkes for this. Let's move on to the third item. Right, we've already a couple of good things, some G.I. Joe and some fake Transformers. Well, does anyone remember Barbie? Okay, now this is something that I might do an entire video about. This is something kind of weird. It's like a Barbie doll, but she comes in this like mascot outfit with like the weird shoes, and she's got that, you know, weird jacket cloak thing costume and the weird thing over the head. But if you pull the weird Toucan Sam thing off of her, it's a real Barbie underneath there. The DJ table is not included with it. I just thought, and I picked them up the same day at the thrift store, I just thought that it looked good with it, and I think it makes it for a great picture. So this is going to be $10, and I think it's weird enough that it could be in anyone's collection. Also, I believe the arms are articulated. They, you know, they do something like that. The legs, I don't know if they bend at the knee, probably not, but, you know, it's not a bad piece. It can do this sort of thing. Looks like some sort of weird DJ. All right, let's go to our fourth item. Metacom. Does anybody remember Metacom? Well, did you know that Metacom, who does Mafex, they also do Kubrick. Kubrick are these little kind of Lego Mini-Mate knockoff type dudes, little 2-inch guys, and they also do something called a Bear Brick, which is sort of a bigger but bear-shaped guy. Anyways, this was part of a set of cosmonauts. It's this thing, which was a Russian spacecraft, and it came with a figure and a dog, okay? So I got this at the thrift store. I do not have the figure, I do not have the dog. If you look up Kubrick Cosmonaut, and I almost feel like we should check it out here. Cosmonaut Kubrick. Let's go lowest first. That's, of course, me, my auction. You can see that the cheapest one is $115 for the set. So if you wanted to just get the shuttle itself, $20, has this cool stand, and it's like a cool, weird sort of piece that you could use with your mini-mates, or maybe you're like kind of a Lego type people, or Roblox, that kind of thing. So check this out. It's actually part of a more expensive piece. I'm getting rid of it for cheap. It's kind of missing some parts, but you know, someone out there could use this. And it's got a little chair that comes out. It's pretty cool. All right, moving on to this thing. Does anybody remember the company called Blue Box Toys, BBI as they were known? So this is actually this. Here, I'll cut over. It's actually this, and it's like a, you know, toy missile launcher, spring-loaded. You put rockets in there, and it's got a little, you know, peg here because it went in the top of some sort of like a Humvee or some sort of half-track or something. It's probably for like a 1/18th scale, but if you're the type of person who likes to do, you know, modding of toys and kit bashing, and you're doing some military stuff, you can make this work, especially since it's already camouflaged. And this thing, we are going to be, doing that, I believe, $10. Get it while you have the chance. Just a weird random part. Could be the thing you're looking for. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving on to the sixth item. This I picked up at the thrift store. This is kind of a rescue. Remember, if you do not buy the stuff at my thrift store, it goes in the trash. Okay. Also, the longer stuff sits on the shelf, the more kids who come in with their parents who are unleashed on the toy section, because it's the best way to babysit your kids is just let them go ape with the toys. This stuff actually gets destroyed. I see cool die-cast cars, 1/24th, 1/18th scale come in, and by the time the kids are done, they're like all the little chrome parts are broken off and the wheels are broken off in the trash, right? So you do have to actually kind of rescue this stuff. Now, Rise of Evil 2-pack. This is something that was for sale at a Target and didn't sell, and somehow my goodwill ended up with it. The only thing of note is that it has not been punched. Can you see that? That is a thing. Is it a thing that people want? Don't know. Anyways, these two figures, 20 bucks, free shipping. It's estimated that I will make about $1.50 if it goes for 20 bucks, and anything less, I could lose money. So, there you go, Rise of Evil. You can thank me later for rescuing it. And what you're going to do with a couple of Motu Hare Krishna guys, that's up to you. But let me tell you that for this, there is a very, very, very special Man-at-Arms tchotchke figure that comes with it, just so you know. All right, moving on. Does anybody remember Trendmaster? Does anybody remember 1907? Does anybody remember Lost in Space? Well, here's a couple of action figures from Lost in Space made by Trendmaster, 1997. The blue robot fires a missile. The robot on the right, battle-damaged robot, just kind of drives around. They both have little spring-loaded things that make them pop up. They both have little batteries in them and they make noise, okay? So these are kind of cool. I got these a long time ago. I found them in the bottom of a bin and I said, you know what? These could be cool for like maybe they repair mechs and tanks and stuff like that with the crew. Or maybe they go on eBay, buy it now, 20 bucks, you get these two sort of cool robots. I'm gonna go with that one. All right, we are almost done. Check this out. This is a, technically a remote-controlled RC boat, right? Called the Little Fishin' Buddy. And what's interesting is that it's actually a remote-control boat that you could take and you could go fishing with. It has the ability, or had the ability, to actually troll along with a line and snag fish and catch them. Sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Now, here's the thing about this. This is kind of a 1/24th scale. It fits sort of like Playmobil type people, or it would fit a little Mini-Mate guy. So here's the guy in my hand, so you can see what a Mini-Mate is. And some of you who have Mini-Mates, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, here it is with the guy sitting in it. And this is kind of a cool ship, boat sort of thing that you could use for your action figure photography of your Mini-Mates. It's got 4 chairs. I've done some pictures with my Mini-Mates of the Fantastic Four in it, like it's their sort of, you know, kind of house ship that they go take out on the water. It does not come with the remote control, does not come with the battery, but it will float, so you can take it out on the water. It is water worthy, and with a little bit of decorating, you can make it look pretty cool. Okay, we're almost done. We got 2 more things left. This has been a very sort of action-packed, name brand edition of Catch and Release. You're getting a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is very affordable. Not sure what I'm going to do on the boat. Probably about 30 bucks plus or minus. That includes the shipping, and I'm always special tchotchke if you mention the show. Now, this guy. This is not 21st Century Toys. This is in fact Unimax, or Unimag, excuse me. Or maybe it is Unimax. Let's go with Unimax. I've forgotten off the top of my head what this company is called. But they also make a series of both World War II and modern 3.75 action figures. And this is one of their World War II paratroopers. This guy is known as Private Mahoney. He's got the kind of cool Mohawk and Apache war paint that the crazy 101st Airborne would wear as they dropped into Germany, only probably to be later captured. I'm just guessing. I think some of those guys, they got kind of the short end of the stick on, you know, things like Operation Market Garden. So here we have pretty cool little paratrooper. He's got the flaps up. Unfortunately, I do not have the accessories that would include the parachute. However, I did see a eBay account that did have parachutes for these guys, and they hook right into the little straps, and a little, you know, pouch goes into the back, the little hole in the back of the guy, and it looks cool. Okay, we are on to, and this guy's going to be 15 bones. Buy it now, and you'll be surprised how fast these go. People are looking for these. Now, here is the last auction. This is the big dog. These are These are BBI 3.75 modern military action figures. And you can find a wealth of information on like Figure Checklist, Figure Realms, those kinds of sites that like to document checklists of different toy lines. Look under BBI and you'll see all of these different guys. There's like a ghillie suit guy, there's like a desert sniper guy, there's paratrooper guy, there's all sorts of jungle dudes, mountain guys, people with, you know, headsets on. You get a pretty good range of dudes. 12 of these guys, the painting on them is excellent. They've all got like that cool dark wash on them. They're all sort of different years, but they're all sort of in that range of some sort of 2005 to 2012, I believe. So we're going to go out of the gate, $99 for 12 figures. That's less than 10 bucks each. And remember, if it sits there for a long time and it doesn't get any action, price drops, eventually becomes yours. That is it for this episode of Catch and Release, which I go through 10 items that I'm putting up on eBay. As you can see, some of these items are already live, and if they're not live, they're going to be live soon. So I encourage you to go check it out. And as always, you know, try and stay charged.